Liberation looks like to me not worrying about what you're waking up to when you get up in the morning.
Liberation to me feels like, I don't know, just sex. The most liberating things that I've done recently are sex. Or validating photo shoots. That's really what it is. So like a situation that have until the last few years never been able to have while being myself. Those are the liberating moments. So like I did in a queer underwear shoot earlier this year. Best fucking photo shoot of my life because it was shot by queers. It was for queers. I got to be queer. I got to make out with a queer. That felt so good. I did a queer porn shoot last weekend. Same deal, like for queers, by queers, all this sort of stuff. I got to just be me. I didn't even have to like take off my underwear. It was like, that is liberating, not taking off your underwear. And then just making out with people in general who like me for who I am, without me having to perform a different sort of situation for them. Not that I don't appreciate all of my exes and old lovers and shit, but I don't know. I wasn't ready to be liberated then.
Gosh, I wish you could have seen Queer Fashion Week, because that to me was liberation with the number, just the different representations of our community was on each of the runway. Like it was like there was a Friday night show, Saturday night show, Thursday night show, and every single night was just like, it was so amazing, you know. And that to me feels like just seeing each person walk the runway and how free they were to be themselves, you know, and just like exposed and like, you know, that's liberation, you know. And that at that particular moment, not feeling any kind of prejudice or discrimination or hate, you know. It was a moment where there was so much love, you know. And I think love is a big part of feeling liberated, you know, of like receiving that love and feeling that love, and it's like completely like, you know, surrounding you, you know, with that kind of love energy. And that's how I feel about like the fashion shows that I do. I know it sounds like, oh, she keeps talking about fashion shows, but there's something about the kinds that I participate in where I feel like, oh, it's really like, this is a very special thing we're doing right now, you know. And yeah, it's like, I think liberation is about walking through life and just feeling that kind of fearlessness and love of, you know, that's coming out of you, that's, you know, but also like that's coming back to you.
Liberation is when we're not beholden to these external things, like when we're not, you know, desiring these things, when you're not oppressed by what you want, or you're on a roller coaster of fear and desire. I think that means different things for different people, right? Like within U.S. political rhetoric, that means, you know, democracy or capitalism. Yeah, on these other peoples, that looks like manifest destiny, or I don't know, this, you know, the French civilizing mission. But I think liberation in that sense means you're able to determine your own life's trajectory.
I don't know, it feels impossible. I feel like, I know that sounds negative, it feels like liberation, like self-liberation for me is so tied into the liberation of so many other things, and it feels like there's just like a whole web of things that need to happen before I would feel liberated. So economic, racial, sexual, you know, gender, sexuality, all of these things need to kind of reach a point for that to be the case, you know?
You can be yourself, however it is that you want to be. Sort of like being at Burning Man. This is not how I dress normally, but when I'm there, whatever I am, I perfectly feel fine with it. And maybe that's how the world should be, where we can just be whatever and everyone can appreciate all the differences that we all have.